Hello learners. In this session, we are going to be talking about sustainable education and the role of NGOs in providing sustainable education. I'm Dr. Shubhangi Vaidya from the School of Interdisciplinary and Transdisciplinary Studies at IGNOU. Let's begin by talking about the concept of sustainability. Sustainable development seeks to meet the needs and aspirations of the present without compromising the ability to meet those of the future. This is the very famous definition given in the document Our Common Future, the report of the World Commission on Environment and Development in 1987. This is also known as the Brundtland Report. The UN Decade for Education for Sustainable Development, or the DESD, was initiated at the World Summit on Sustainable Development in Johannesburg for the period 2005 to 2014. So you understand that the concept of sustainability and sustainable development is one of the really important and path-breaking concepts that has had an immense relevance, not just in the area of economics, but in all dimensions of life, including education. The aims are to provide an opportunity for refining and promoting the vision of and transition to sustainable development through all forms of education, public awareness and training, and to give an enhanced profile to the important role of education and learning in sustainable development. So we see that the need to promote education in sustainable development lies at the heart of a sustainable future and lies at the heart of a future in which all sections of society have an equal part to play and also get returns or get benefit from the various activities that take place in the world. What is sustainable education? Let's continue with this discussion. Now, firstly, we must mention that environmental education and education for sustainable development are not one and the same. The DESD that we've referred to earlier provides an opportunity to broaden the public understanding of the role of all education in moving towards ecological sustainability and social justice. So while environmental education would just be narrowly confined to a curriculum or to talking about the environment, education for sustainable development takes into account various other indicators which help us to move towards ecological sustainability and also towards social justice. The UNESCO advises countries and groups to interpret education for sustainable development differently in ways that suit their particular context. So the context in a developing nation would be rather different from those in an advanced society with a great deal of economic development. So the need for sustainability and the way in which sustainability needs to be embedded in education may vary in both these contexts. However, sustainable development and sustainability are the watchwords that both kinds of societies have to bear in mind. The Millennium Development Goals, or MDGs, spoke for education for all, and this included gender-sensitive education, rural development, healthcare, community involvement, literacy, HIV/AIDS, human rights education, peace education, as well as environmental education. So you see that the need for education, or within the ambit of education, many important issues that touch upon sustainability and social justice are covered. The implementation plan of the DESD basically involved creating access to basic education for all. So, if sustainability has to be achieved, then everybody must have a basic education. As we know, there are parts of the world in which formal education, particularly for girls and women, is not yet available to all. And the implementation plan stressed this in particular. Reorienting existing education programs, reviewing the curricula to make sustainable development an integral part of the curriculum in all subject areas. Very importantly, integrating real-life issues. So when education actually deals with or addresses the everyday lived realities, it becomes more relevant and it becomes something that has much more attraction or much more uptake for those who are engaging in that education. NGOs too can get involved by utilizing some of the innovative educational tools to make this happen. Raising public awareness and understanding of sustainability. This is also very, very crucial. Unless awareness raising is not there, unless the public is not made aware as to why sustainability is such an important goal and such an important aspect of our day-to-day lives, really education for sustainability will not take off. Also, vocational and professional training for sustainability is very, very crucial. And in this context, NGOs can partner with corporates in bringing the much needed skills. Basic skills such as better agricultural practices which are more sustainable, traditional environment-friendly skills, communication skills for grassroots level workers and computer skills all can be imparted by NGOs in participation or in partnership with corporates. The MDGs are now transformed into the SDGs or the Sustainable Development Goals. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development put forward a number of sustainable development goals, and the aim of these sustainability goals was transforming our world. These Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs put in place a plan of action which comprised of the 5 P's: people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership. So the involvement of the people is crucial. The planet, which is the only planet that we have for our sustenance and for our survival, our Earth, which we have to conserve and protect at all costs. Prosperity, however, prosperity which does not lead to depredation on the planet's resources or destruction of the planet's resources. Peace, because without peace, there can be no sustainability. And partnership, in which the different nations of the world, different communities, different societies all come together to protect our common heritage, our common Earth, on which we all live and whose welfare we are all invested in. Education is one of the very important goals of sustainable development. Of the 17 sustainable development goals, the first 5 are no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality. I stress on these 5 goals in particular because these are the ones that really speak about the social justice aspect of sustainability. And without quality education for all the other goals in a sense become more difficult to realize, because only when there is quality education for everybody will people be empowered to get rid of poverty, to deal with hunger, to eradicate hunger, to improve and promote their health and well-being, and of course, gender justice and equality, which is at the core of a just society. Since the year 2000, huge progress has been made in achieving the target of universal primary education. The total enrollment rate in developing regions reached 91% in 2015, and the worldwide number of children out of school has dropped by almost half. Dramatic increases in literacy rates have been seen, and one of the very encouraging things is that many more girls are now in school. Yet, much remains to be done. The goal Education for All ensures that all girls and boys complete free primary and secondary schooling by 2030. It also aims to provide equal access to affordable vocational training, to eliminate gender and wealth disparities, and to achieve universal access to quality higher education. Let's now discuss a case study in education, a case study in which an organization has been actively involved with the community in promoting the goal of sustainable education. The Azim Premji Foundation is a not-for-profit organization that has been working since 2000 with the elementary education system in rural government schools. The foundation began by implementing various programs to improve the educational quality across the country. They looked at some of the important areas of need, and these included access to education, the quality of learning, community participation in school, academics and research, and advocacy and communication, which basically included breaking myths, creating mass awareness, creating scientific knowledge and temperament across the country. In the year 2010, the organization decided that they would set up district institutes in field locations. Today, the foundation, with 1,000+ employees, has field institutes in 40+ districts across 6 states and 1 union territory, namely Karnataka, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, and Puducherry. Some of the important initiatives that have been undertaken by the Azim Premji Foundation, let's just discuss them briefly. In the period 2001 to 2008, the Azim Premji Foundation took up the Computer-Aided Literacy Program. The Community Learning Centers initiative was started, and the aim was the application of technology in education for self-paced, interactive, and experiential learning, and to attract children to school. The Computer-Aided Learning Program covered 16,000 schools in 13 states. Another very interesting initiative was their Child-Friendly Schools initiative from the period 2004 to 2011. This was an holistic program which covered all relevant stakeholders, including teachers, community members, students, and educational functionaries, and a wide range of domains, including classroom processes, out-of-classroom processes, different perspectives on learning, teacher and professional development, monitoring and support, curricular and related activities. And this program was implemented as a tripartite partnership between the state government, the foundation, and UNICEF. The policy planning unit of the foundation has also worked from 2003 onwards. It was a joint initiative with the government of Karnataka to assist the Department of Public Instruction to build administrative and technical capabilities in the officials in the department to enhance community participation in schools, document academic processes and practices for learning. We see that the foundation has done exemplary work in making education something that is rooted in the grassroots, that takes on board all stakeholders and functionaries and embeds it within the culture of the community. To conclude, education, we can see, is the most powerful tool for bringing development to the poor and the marginalized people. Some have even shown that education is life itself. Education is an essential aspect of every NGO activity, and therefore it should be used as widely as possible to strengthen programs. Sustainability is the need of the hour, and quality education for all is one of the Sustainable Development Goals, which must be attained in order to ensure an equitable world and a better future for humanity. Thank you.